I am Micah, and I'm 9.
We went to a talk that Mencap presented on wills and trusts and how to make sure your loved ones are provided for. And that was when I first heard about the Mencap Trust Company. And I decided that the Mencap Trust Company would be able to do a trust which would be suitable for Micah for after we are not in the picture anymore. I did not want Micah to be in control of large amounts of money, but at the same time he had to have access to something that he could live on, some kind of savings, something he could fall back on. I wanted Mencap involved because they are outside all of the winds and storms of family relationships. They are professionals. We were working on this trust, on getting it set up, and then Uncle Philip died after an illness, and it was unexpected. And it turned out that he died intestate. So the cousins all got together to decide how to manage this estate. And so they decided to each tip a certain amount of money into a trust fund, so it would not be Micah's money. It's a trust fund. I knew the kinds of things that Micah would want. He would want someone who is responsible, who is going to be looking out for him. There was a letter of wishes which I had written. I wanted them to use their good judgment as to how to spend that money. And that I wanted Micah to have independence. And now I can say, if you want to think about Micah, then put money in that trust which is named and speak to that person and they will tell you how to do it. So it makes it very easy for people to think about Micah and not be endangering his welfare by putting him in control of money. And because if you have capital, then suddenly you stop being eligible for benefits. Quite soon after the trust was set up, we found a reason why we needed it, which is we needed occupational therapy for Micah. And what we needed was not available on the NHS. And our budget does not extend to that. We were paying an occupational therapist once every 3 months. But now he needed a program that was going to be every week. And so we wrote to the trust, or rang them up, we emailed various communications, and they ended up authorising 3 years of occupational therapy as needed. What it will do is it will enable him to move towards his ambitions. I feel as if Mencap Trust Company are like a corporate friend for Micah, and I think that's going to be useful. I think he's not going to be short of friends, but having a responsible friend is something which will be valuable for him in the future. And I feel relieved, and I feel rather grateful.